I All right, it says graph the line and the line that is parallel to the given line. Then write the equation of the parallel line. So again, a lot of people don't understand what I'm asking, all right, when I say write the equation of the line parallel. So I tried to demonstrate exactly what I mean. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go up and we want to graph 3/4 x minus 5. So everybody should have this done because we've graphed a line about 100 times now, all right? So we go down 5. So everybody plot a point, go down 5. And then from there, we go up 3. And we go over 4. Now, I need everybody to see that's that line right there. Anybody got a problem with that? Now, I'd like everybody to plot the point -2, 5. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to graph the line that is parallel. Is this line parallel? No. Is this line parallel? No, it's not. All right, how would I make it parallel? What? How would I make it parallel to the green line? Watch this. Here's what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to come over here now, and I'm going to grab this. You don't have to do any of this. All right, I'm going to duplicate this line. Now, as everybody see, it's the same line. Now watch, I'm just going to move it over until I get right there. Now, are those lines parallel? Yes. Why are they parallel is the question. Why are they parallel? That's the main question. What's true about their slopes? They are equal. Lines that are parallel have the same slope. That's what you need to write down. Lines that are parallel have the same slope. That's what's critical. All right. Now, most of you guys did a good job yesterday with the work. All right. So you should be fine with today. All right. You should be fine with today. All right. Now you drew the parallel line. All right. But if you wanted to draw it accurately, you would say from this point, -2, 5, from this point, -2, 5, you would simply go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how you would draw the line that's parallel. Is everybody with me on that? All right. So with that, all right, I have now drawn the parallel line, but I don't really care about drawing the parallel line. I care about what is the equation of the parallel line. So here is the symbolism, slope of the parallel line. Those two little lines down there below the slope mean that's parallel. All right. Now, what is the slope of the parallel line? What's the slope of the parallel line? 3 over 4. What point is it going through? Thank you. -2, 5. So who was here yesterday wants to write the equation of the line now? Go ahead, Liv. Yes, but go ahead. Just tell me the answer now. Which be, there you go. That's the equation. That's it. That's all there was to it. Palmer, are you with me? You sure you're with me? All right. Come on. I want you on my task. All right. What? No, because it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right. That was the formula we used called point slope. All right. Now, I use point slope because it's the easiest one to use. All right. So let's go ahead down to number 2 now. All right. I want everybody to graph y equals -5/7 x minus 8. So I'm going to go down to -8, plot a point. From there, I'm going to go down 5. Uh-oh. Can I go down 5? No, so I must go what? Up, how many? Up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I must go what? Left, how many? 7. That is correct. So I went up 5 and left 7. I had to go the opposite direction because I couldn't go down 5. So that's your line. Now, everybody graph the point 4, 2. Now, when you graph the point 4, 2, what slope am I going to use for that? I'm going to go from that point, what? Down 5 and over 7. Can I really go over 7? No, that would take me to 11. So instead of going down, I'm going to go up 5 and left what? 7. And then draw that line. And like magic, that creates what? Parallel lines. That creates parallel. Yeah, I noticed if I go down 5 and to the right 7, I'll be over here off the screen. So I just do the reverse. Instead of going down 5, I go what? Up 5. And then instead of going to the right, I go, yes, exactly. Watch this. -5 over 7 is the same as 5 over -7. All right, so you just do it in the reverse order. All right, is everybody happy with that explanation? Now, quickly, writing the equation should be easy for us now. All right, Caroline, go ahead. Yes, you're right. Y minus 2. Beautiful. There you have it. Easy as that. Now, you guys who I'm helping, trying to do better, is there anything more I can add to that? Anybody else need any more help or assistance with that? Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, I think that's good. Slope of the parallel would be -5/7, and it passes through the point 4, 2. That's, I think, what you should write down. All right, I think that's a good idea. Passing through the point 4, 2, and then it's just the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right. So now, graphing y equals 8x. What's the y-intercept? No. What's the y-intercept for 8x? 0. Thank you. So everybody's plotting the point 0, 0. Then from there, I go what? Up what? 8 and over 1. Up 8 over 1. And now I graph that line. Now, everybody find -4, -2. And from there, I go what? Yeah, I can't. Well, I could go down 8 because that would take me to -10. So if I go down 8 and over, oh, I'm sorry, I would go up 8. I was thinking it was negative. No, you're right. Go up 8 and over what? Oh, up 8 and over 1. Thank you very much. And again, you should be able to recognize those are what? Parallel lines because they have the same slope. All right. So once again, slope of the parallel line is 8. Passing through the point -4, -2. All right, Luke, what's the equation of the line?
Y plus -2.
Just say y what? No, plus 2 equals, keep going, 8/1 times. You're amazing. All right. Do I really need to write 8/1? Not necessary, but it's okay to write 8/1. That's how simple that is. All right. Very simple. 4. Okay. 4, you can put a star by and do that later. 5. Here we go. Why do I have a problem on number 5? What's the problem on number 5? Yeah, you have to get it into the Y format. It doesn't tell you what Y is. So to do that, Peter, what do I have to move? No. Move the what? Yes, move the 2x over. When I move the 2x over, it's going to become what? Negative. Right. So negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 9. Now, stop me right here if you don't see that. All I did was I picked up the 2x and I threw it over to the right side. The 2x on the left side is what? Positive. So if I move it to the right side, it becomes what? That's it. If you can't see that, then please feel free to put minus 2x and minus 2x. I don't want you to do that. I want you to say the logic is get y by itself, so I need to move the 2x over. And now my final step is to divide by negative 3. Now, some of you are having an awful hard time dividing by negative 3. I don't know why. All right. You should be able to look at that and say y is equal to 2/3 x minus 3. Everybody should be able to look at that and say that's just 2/3 x minus 3. All right. Now we're going to graph that. How do I graph that? I go down what? Down 3, plot a point. From there, I go what? Up 2 and to the right 3. Graph that line. Now, plot the other point. So to plot the other point, I go what? Negative 2, then what? Left 2 and up 5. From there, I go what? Up what? Come on. And that's how you're going to learn, by doing it. Stop being lazy. And there's your equation. Are those lines parallel? Because they have what? Because they have the same slope. That's what you're supposed to know. They are parallel because they have the same slope. All right, so now let's write the equation, Mr. Greep. Go for it. That's the form. What's the slope? What's the slope of the parallel line? Tell him, Colton. -3. No. What's the slope? Surrey. 2/3. You see that now? Hey, Bruin, you see that now?
Yeah.
All right, 2/3. Then x minus what? Let him talk.
3.
The x point. These are the 2 points, the x and the y. So it's going to be +2. You hear me? Come on now. All right, jump to number 10. Or no, actually number 9. Everybody's on number 9. How do I graph y equals 9? What is it? What kind of line? No, think for yourself. That's what I'm saying. Think for yourself. What is y equals 9? Who remembers from yesterday? What is it? Horizontal line. That's right. Everybody should say it's a horizontal line y equals 9. So everybody just draw a horizontal line, y equals 9. This is what I don't understand. Now everybody plot the point -2, 5. Draw the line that is parallel going through that point. If I draw a line that's parallel, it's going to be what kind of line? It's got to be a horizontal line. You got to be not thinking at all to see that. A horizontal line is going to be parallel to another horizontal line. So I'm drawing this. Is everybody with me? That's another horizontal line. So if this is y equals 9, then this equation must be y equals what? 5. Thank you. Why is it a 5? Because it passes through the y value that is 5. Y equals 5. Or I can look up here and say, wow, that y value is what? 5. You have to know that. All right, maybe you didn't know it this time. Now you do. All right, so now if I ask you for number 10, draw a line parallel to x equals -2. So how do I graph x equals -2? That's going to be a vertical line. So everybody write this. Vertical line, x equals -2. So draw that. And now do me a favor, just make this a +2 here. I messed this up. My typo. So white that out if you want. You know what I'm saying? You can just literally white out that negative. You'll never even know it's there. All right. So it's the point 2, 5. So everybody plot 2, 5. So what's the equation of the line that's parallel to x equals -2 passing through 2, 5? Yes, it's going to be another what? Vertical line. So how do I represent the vertical line? Nope. It's an equation. You can't just say 2. You got to say the equation. X equals 2. That's what we're talking about. X equals 2. All right. X equals 2. Those are parallel. All right. So the answer was x equals 2 because this was a 2. All right. Now, last one before we get into perpendiculars. All right. So here we go. One last shot here. My problem is what? I don't have it y equals. So I got to move the what? X. I'm throwing the x over. When I throw the x over, it becomes what? Negative. So negative y equals -x plus 9. Right? I moved the x over. It became negative. Now, am I allowed to have negative y? No. So I've been trying to tell you, whenever the y is negative or whenever the variable is negative, you can just do what to all the signs? Change them. Not make them positive, change all signs. So this negative y becomes a positive y. The negative x becomes a, and the positive 9 becomes a, yes. So what's the slope of this line? It's hidden. What's the slope of that line? No. What's the slope of the line?
0.
Slope is not x. Say it. Yes, 1. But in fact, I would prefer you say it's 1 over what? 1. So the slope of that line is 1. Is everybody with me? I said it was hidden for a reason because it's the number in front of the x. I just didn't write it. Mr. Wash, are you still with me? You're not daydreaming. Palmer, are you still with me? All right, it'd be helpful if you paid attention the whole class period. Now, the slope of the parallel line, all right, would be what? What's the slope of the parallel line? What's the slope of the 1 over 1 or just 1? Passing through what point? All right, Miss Kellogg, tell me what the equation would be. Good job. Yep. You are amazing, kiddo. Perfect. Thank you for listening. And now look, if you don't know that, you can speak up and say, man, you're just killing me today. Why would the X be behind the not? What are you talking about? It's Peter. Peter, you're smart. Look up. Y equals mx plus b. The X is always in front of the number. Always, 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 always. All right. The X is put in front. Now, if you put the 9 minus X, it's not going to be the end of the world, but traditionally we just put the X in front of the constant. All right. So now that I've taught you everything I can teach you about parallels, I need to teach you everything I can about what? Perpendicular. All right. So perpendicular lines intersect to form what kind of angles? 90-degree angles. That's what that means. Super duper important in the math world. All right. So this is just the introduction. So here's what I would like you to write down for me. All right. Uh-oh. I would like for you to say this. All right. Slopes of the perpendicular. Please watch. Slope of the perpendicular. That's the symbol for perpendicular. Is the opposite reciprocal. The opposite reciprocal. What in the world does that mean? Well, the slope of the line up here is 3/4. Everybody agree? So what would be the opposite reciprocal of that? Yes. -4/3. Brilliant. The slope of the perpendicular. I can't do anything for you if you can't write that down. If you don't know anything about, I'm not asking you to come up with that or figure out how they figured that out. I'm just simply saying the slope of the perpendicular lines, the relationship between the two slopes is they are negative reciprocals of each other. All right, now just to show you that, all right, we're going to graph 3/4 x minus 5 over here. So again, we're going to go down 5, plot a point. From there, we go up 3 and over 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I went up 3 over 4. And there's that line right there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to now show you, all right, we're going to graph -2, 5. So I'm going to graph -2 up 5 right here. Now, what is the slope? So from that point, I go what? No, I didn't. I'm graphing this line first, is this. Now I'm demonstrating the perpendicular. So from this point, -2, 5, I use the perpendicular slope. What is the perpendicular slope? -4/3. So from that point, I go what? Down 4 and to the right 3. So I'm going to blow up down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you draw those lines, something magical will happen. They line up perfectly, and the intersection is what type of angle? Look at that angle right there. It's exactly what? It's exactly 90 degrees. It's exactly 90 degrees. All right. So again, if you want to draw perpendicular lines, you need the slope of the original line and the slope of the perpendicular. Now that we know that the slope of the perpendicular is -4/3 and it passes through the point -2, 5. So Sadie, get to write the equation quickly. Go. Good. You are amazing, kiddo. That's it. Congratulations. It's the same as what? It's the same as the parallel. Once we get the slope, we write the equation. All right. Is everybody with me on that? All right. So here we go. Now, what time's the bell ring? All right. So we got some time. I'm trying not to burden you. All right. But that means I need your attention. All right. So I don't want to graph anymore. If you don't know how to graph, what can I do? This is nothing. You're not doing anything if you don't know how to graph a line, right? So I'm pretty confident everybody in here knows how to graph a line, or they should have spoken up and said, please help me. I'm sorry, I'm 6 months behind. All right. Everybody knows how to graph a line. All right. So now, because we are smart and I've done enough examples, you should be able to say, man, I could get through. I literally can do this worksheet in about 2 minutes. That's it. All right. So you have to know, how do you do it so fast? Well, I know the rules. I need the slope of the perpendicular and I need a point. So let's everybody see if we can go quickly down the page without graphing anymore. What is the slope of the perpendicular? Everybody's got to write that down. 7/5. And it passes through what point? Now, if you're saying, man, I don't know what you're talking about, how are you getting 7/5? I don't have any idea what you're doing. Now's the time to ask. How did I get over here? How did I get -4/3? So what do you think I did down here? I don't really multiply by the reciprocal. I do the reciprocal. What is the reciprocal of -5/7? But I said they're opposite signs. Come on, Palmer. You're brilliant. All right. Same exact way as we did the one before that. All right, Evan, give me the equation. Let's go. I am great. Thank you. Yes. Do you remember the formula? That's why I tell, write it down 1,000 times. Write it down 1,000 times. That's the formula. Y minus the Y value. The Y value is what? Hello? The Y value is what? 2. That's why it's Y minus 2. You with me now, right? All right. So here we go. Number 14. Ms. Hanlon, what is the slope of the perpendicular? Let's see if I can trick you or not. Slope of the perpendicular would be what? Close. Don't tell her. No, no, and no. Come on. I said close. 1/8 is the reciprocal. Help her, sunshine. It's negative. Remember, they're opposite signs. If one's positive, the other one is what? Negative. One's negative, the other one is. So the slope is -1/8, passing through what point, Leah? Now write the equation, please. Go. Good. Bless you. Yes, x plus 4. Good job, girl. Hopefully everybody in here knows that. If you don't know that, it's your own fault. Right? You're not working with me. You're just sitting there, letting the time go by. Waste. All right, now I want to come down to number 20. Everybody's graphing y = 9. Everybody go through y = 9. Draw y equals 9. Now plot the point -2, 5. This is what I never understood about kids. What is going to be perpendicular to a horizontal line? A vertical. There you go. Vertical. Right? I don't understand what you guys are waiting on. Some of you sitting here. The vertical, does everybody agree? A vertical line is perpendicular to a horizontal. So what is the equation of this line right here? It's close. No, it's an equation. No. X equals -2. X equals -2. That is correct. Once again, graph X equals -2. Now, graph, all right, this one's not as important as the last one. All right, so graph the perpendicular. What is that going to be, Liv? Horizontal. That's exactly right. So draw the horizontal line through -2, 5. Here. Because you're smart. If it's perpendicular to a vertical, it must be what? Just like you said, it must be horizontal, correct? If it's horizontal, the perpendicular would be vertical. And so what's the equation of that horizontal line? Y equals what? 5. Y equals 5. That's the answer. Y equals 5. Anybody have any issues with that? Come on, Peter. Yes. Perpendicular to vertical is horizontal. All right. Now, I know we're going to be done here in a minute, and I don't want to give you a bunch of work. So here we go. Listen, let's do number 19 together real quick. Everybody's doing 19. All right. I have a problem here because it's not in the right format, correct? So I have to move the what? 7x. When I move the 7x, it becomes what? -7x. Now what do I have to do? Not yet. Not yet. Divide by -3. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide by -3 just because some of you are good visuals. So y equals 7/3 x minus 7/3. Do I care one bit about this right here? Hold up. Do I care one bit? No, I don't. Right? So now I have the equation. The slope of the perpendicular would be what, please? Nope. -3/7, passing through what point? So the equation y minus 2 equals -3/7 times x minus 0. All right, is everybody happy with that explanation? Hold up, I didn't tell you your assignments. All right, here's what I want. I'm going to take it easy on you. All right, listen to me, please, guys. If you don't know, you should do the whole thing. But those of you guys who go, man, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, I'm learning. All right, that's what's important. This right here, 25 through 28. That's what I want you to do. 25 through 28. I'll come in tomorrow and I'll put those up on the board and you can see how you're doing. Please, 25 through 28. 4 problems. Everybody can do that. Very good work today. Very good. Very good.